Hey there, it's Ms. Vibert Johnson.
And Mr. Nash.
In this video, we're going to talk about organization. So you have all of your claims and all of your evidence, but how do you organize that claims and evidence so that your paper flows smoothly?
Yeah, so in this video, we've assumed that you've already done your research. You have a bunch of stats and things that you've found, and you've taken that evidence and you've grouped it into claims. So you've created those claims yourself. Now you need to decide what claims are you going to use in your paper, and which ones are you going to leave out. So that's really what this video is all about, and how to organize those claims into specific paragraphs in your paper. So let us show you how to do that. So here is this is kind of where you should be at right now if you're watching this video. So say, for example, you were writing on the question, should cell phones be allowed in school? You've already read some sources on the issue. You've collected evidence on both sides. Make sure you've done that.
Both sides.
And you've developed claims and reasons for both sides. You haven't yet really picked which side you're going to write from, because you're supposed to stay objective throughout the whole research process.
But you have information on both sides, and usually you tend to go with the side that you end up with the most valuable claims on. So in this case, we have more yes claims than no claims, so our paper is going to be that yes, cell phones should be allowed for school, just because we have more yes claims.
And it's all about amount too, it's about quality. But if you
Right.
look through here, you can see that these claims are just stronger claims than the claims in this list. So it looks like we are going to write that yes, cell phones should be allowed in school instead of no. But this is still going to be important that we have this side, because we're going to include some of this information in our paragraph when we argue why these things are actually wrong. So here you go with what it should be like now. So let's show you how to pick and choose between which one of, so now you have 6 yes claims, and you're going to include at least one no claim. Are you going to have 7 paragraphs in your paper?
That would be kind of lengthy. Probably wouldn't. Anywhere between 2 and 3 paragraphs. But it also depends
4 maybe, yeah.
On who you're writing for also, and why you're writing.
So if you look, what we want to teach you to do is that you're not going to include every claim. You're going to include the best claims for your particular audience. So let's take a look at that now. Okay, so here is a sample. Again, should cell phones be allowed in school? And yes, they should. Here are my list of claims that I had, and here are my other side that I had as well. And I have picked the claims that I feel are the strongest. So my first claim that I've picked is that students are more engaged. I feel like that's a really strong claim. Like, I can argue that. I think that makes sense. I think that there's a lot of appeal to that claim, that we, as teachers, we want students to be engaged in class. So I've picked that one. Also, that research can be done on the cell phone, and I can supply all the ways that could be done, all the evidence about how research could be done on the phone in that paragraph, but I'm going to have one paragraph all about how and why you can do research on a phone.
Maybe why research is more efficient than other school technology pieces that we have here.
Then my third claim is going to be that students know how to use cell phones. You might see that I've not included to put phones are more powerful than school computers. I didn't necessarily feel like that was worthy of being in my paper. I didn't pick that students already break the rule. It would help focus discipline more. It just didn't seem like it was a very strong claim that it was already being broken. Maybe that might work on my counterclaim, but it wasn't strong. So I picked the 3 claims that I thought were the strongest ones. Mrs. Vijay, could I have picked 4?
You could have. You could have picked 4. You could have picked 5. But you want to make your paper strong, and so you want to pick the best pieces of evidence. Length isn't always what makes the paper great. What makes the paper great is the claims that you choose and the evidence that you have to back up those claims. So if you have 7 claims and you have great evidence to support those claims, then that's great. You might have a really long paper, but don't make yourself put claims in unnecessarily just to say it because, hey, I have all these claims, so I'm going to stick them all in. And that can actually weaken your paper.
Yes, you want to only include the best ones. And it could be 2 claims, it could be 4, it could be 6, but as long as you've shown thinking that you've included the best ones. I've also chosen in my outline that I want to argue that some people think the phone is distracting, and I'm going to tell them why it's not really distracting. So on my other claims, you see I've picked that one because I feel like it's the one that I can, like, it's a strong argument on their side, first of all, but I can actually make that one look bad in my paper. Like, I have evidence
He's going to turn the evidence around
to show that maybe
paper.
It's not distracting. So this is my counterclaim, and I've planned for that. And we have a lot of videos on counterclaims if you're confused on what that means. Okay, so now that I've shown you how I've kind of ranked these. I've had to go through my claims and said, this one's not so good, this one's good, I'm going to put it in. So now we want you to do the same thing in this sample. So you're going to create the sample outline. Again, you're going to know you're going to start with an introduction and a conclusion. And what we want you to do is select out of these choices. We want you to select which claims are going to end up in this paper. We should see that there are some number of red claims, probably 2 or more, and one blue claim.
At least one blue.
Yep, which is going to be the counterclaim.
And you don't want to have an equal number of for and against because that makes your paper confusing. So
Yep,
you
so
always
probably
want to
no
have,
more than one here.
Yeah, you always want to have more for your case than against your case, obviously, in your paper.
So the argument is that schools should extend their daily hours so students are in school 10 hours per day. So take a look at these claims. You're going to pause the video, read through these, select which ones you think are strong reasons why we should extend the school day.
Write your position.
And then you're going to pick the ones that you'd put in your paper, and then select one of these blue ones, which is the opposite viewpoint, and put it in there. Then just a brief couple sentences as to why you picked those ones, so that we can see that you understand that you're not just putting every claim in your paper, you're tactfully selecting certain ones. So you can do that now. You've completed this video, so we'll check that work. Good job.